Alright, Scorpios. Any and all Scorpios, welcome in. This is going to be a collective reading for Scorpio and Scorpio placements. If you are knowledgeable of the birth chart and the birth chart placements, please have discernment in where Scorpio may lie in your birth chart. But if you don't know any of that stuff, you can still watch this. Always take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and there's nothing wrong with just relating to people if you feel like you have gone through a similar experience but you're not fully resonating with the reading. That is also just something to think about. I feel like there's different ways to kind of like resonate, but also like, oh, I've been through this thing before, and it's a way to not feel alone, in my opinion. Understand that maybe there's a lot of people that are dealing with certain and similar struggles like yourself, and I want to know that we all got each other in this silly little life of ours. So, whether you're watching on YouTube in the future, because I'm recording this for YouTube, or you're watching live on stream, welcome in. Let's get a clear, honest message for Scorpio's highest good. What do we got? What do we need to hear? The Emperor reversed. Okay. The Emperor is all about solid foundations, and there's something about this that's like, yep, we understand this Emperor like no other. Like, there's an energy of you are the Emperor energy, and you embody it very, very well, but it's to a point where it's like, it's on autopilot, and you don't even realize it. And I think this is something very, like, true to Scorpio's nature, like, there's something within I hate to like think about actual scorpions here, but like I'm thinking about actual scorpions and that hard shell that is their like exoskeleton, right? I don't know why I felt like that sounded wrong. There's a knowledge and understanding how, like, this callus is the thing that built your soul, but it doesn't need to be. Ooh. It doesn't always need to be as callous as you may think. What doesn't always need to be as callous? All the words didn't fully come to me just yet, but I want to explain at least what came out for the cards before we truly dive into what the cards are trying to say. Four of Cups came out reversed on the bottom of the deck, and I feel like there's a sense of taking opportunity where it's at. Seeing what you've built, seeing genuine success even. And then you see 10 Pentacles and you say, but what's after that? That's all up to you now. You've created all this success. And even just success in your own heart. Little different moments and cycles you've completed. But don't forget, ooh, we almost lost you there. That beautiful idea, that beautiful plan, that beautiful future you want to pursue for yourself. I think there was a point where maybe you didn't even know what you could be. Like, you didn't know what you could be in the future. I think this is taking time to not only express, like, a lot of expressing the self could come from wanting to express, like, past parts of you that could be younger versions of you that wanted to do certain projects, passion projects, hobbying in the past, whatever. It's like a small thing that you really love to do. Seeing this in a new light for once in your life. That's like a completely... It feels like the most astounding light because it feels so purely like good in your heart. And you know it's pure, this feeling of passion towards these projects that you've completed and are still pursuing. You feel so solid on your feet. That's how you know. When you know, you know. And the big part of it is the strength. There is so much certainty that is within every inch of your body that is making you feel so solid on your feet in this lifetime that it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't even count. Is 8 pentacles. So I'm very undiagnosed, but I also like to roll with it because there's been weird synchronicities that happened when I am like, hey, I thought this was 10 pentacles, but how I'm describing it is oddly enough literally like the 8 pentacles. But also, I feel like this still kind of stands of 8 pentacles leads to 10 pentacles. You've completed 10 pentacles before. Maybe each one of these pentacles is a moment in your life where we set a bunch of goals for ourselves, Scorpio, and we completed them, and we moved on to the next goal, and we set a bunch of goals and we completed them, and we moved on to the next, and the next, the next, the next, the next, the next. Holy crap, we've done a lot. We've created a lot of success for ourselves, and not just like, ooh, not just in like abundance. Like there's you wanted to, this is so stupid to word it this way, but my brain can only like understand it in this fashion. There are certain video games that anyone who does not play video games, I'm just gonna explain this because it's okay if you don't really know video games that well. If you're more into tarot than you are video gaming, uh, there's a lot of games that are very interactive and they let you have different choices when it comes to like characters' dialogue and stuff, so you can choose different story paths and either be a good character or a bad character or a middle ground character. And I feel like you wanted the good ending that felt good to your heart and the good ending that you wanted. And it's not necessarily the good like path or the good, because every like good decision, when it's like, oh, you make a choice and it will say this character like that thing you chose, this person that is your friend in the story like that thing. Or for anyone who's played the Fallout games, there was the obvious, oh, this is like good karma increased or bad karma increased or something like that. There was always a good karma and a bad karma thing to pop up, and it is almost trying to like understand where you, and even recognizing where you in your life have chosen to try and bring in the good karma. Whether it felt bad, you brought in the good karma. And this is like recognizing those choices and understanding you can bring in the good karma for and like any and everyone else in your life, but understanding that like you are comfortable with the cost. Not just like, I wanted to say the cost of living, but not the cost of living of like material currency cost. Like this is like the intangible cost of living, where we kind of have to hurt our friends and be honest with them in order for them to actually grow. And I think this is the part that there's parts in life that we know we have to be like, we have to feel this hurt and this pain because it's a tough experience, and that is life. But we have to also, what you've done I feel like a great job at, expressing how you need space for that part of your heart that needs to express and release those hurtful emotions, those hurtful, painful emotions. And I think this is where people get Scorpios misunderstood. And I also see where Scorpios and Aquariuses are very similar with how they handle their heart. You don't want to deal with anyone else's, like, not pain, but like there's a level of you, there like being perceived when you are in this vulnerable area of your heart. And there's a part, I believe in all humans that we just have to have that private moment with ourselves, and like it's a private, like vulnerable moment with the self, and being alone versus being like with somebody like in the room right next to you uh is vastly two different things. And I think you are expressing how that is a comfortable thing to sit in. That is a truth that you're like, that feels all right. And I think this is somewhat someone struggling to like, is that the truth? Is that okay to sit in that truth? Can I sit this? This is comfy. If we need our alone time, we get our alone time. If we want to socialize and we want to express our feelings, we have people we can express our feelings towards. And I think you're safe. You've created safety through this vast exploration of opportunity of good karma. This is why it's second nature. That's why the cards are reversed. It's a little interesting, but it's how I read tarot. The cards in reverse don't always have to be bad things. It's just a different thing than the main card. It's like an opposite energy that's like, hey, it's reversed because it's like, oh yeah, that's Emperor energy. Oh yeah, we're already doing that. And you don't even mind it. It's like barely even there. But it's still there, like underneath. Reverse. Underneath it all. As above, so below. If you know, you know. Eight of Cups. Ooh. Eight of Cups coming out here to clarify the Emperor reverse. Nine of Swords. Hello, hello. Eight of Cups, Nine of Swords, Knight of Wands. You dream of having so much passionate, explorative energy that you know this is the thing I feel like that breaks you free from choosing, oh, well, this is kind of alright, and maybe I could stick with this, and no, you're pushing past all that. Anything that's told you to stay with, hey, this is kind of like how you should feel about this, or this is, it's almost like not even, hold on. It's like a area of lack that's like still only focusing on the lack. I think that there's even an energy, and some people sometimes will just constantly focus on like the lack of the things they have, and that's fine if you are lacking something, and it's okay to mention it, but there's always a passionate energy within you here that wants to move forward, like wants to move beyond this. I don't feel good that I am lacking this thing in my life, this XYZ thing. You're passionate in moving forward because you see life as a shifting and changing, like, I want to say wheel. We have the world card here, but that compass gives me like the Wheel of Fortune energy a lot, and the world always gives me a Wheel of Fortune energy because Wheel of Fortune recognizes the different patterns and pathways that are just taken in this all-encompassing thing of life. The world is that choice of, in this moment in time, this is the pathway we are choosing. The wheel is recognizing all these different shifting things, and the changes in all the shiftingness of transitioning into these states of mind, all of the changes that you've experienced and how you've accomplished each and every different part of yourself. I feel like with every big accomplishment came with like you learning a part of yourself. I think that's a big thing here because that's where the world is like, this Eight of Pentacles is literally the 10 of Pentacles times 8. And it's like you're at like 80% of what feels like, I feel like almost a spiritual awakening, in the sense of a spiritual awakening can be so mundane and we don't even realize it. It's just it could be falling in love with yourself and what you've like created and what you've accomplished. Like, you have done amazingly in this work for you. The life that you've created, whatever is in front of you, you've done it for yourself. This is so much that needs to be recognized, and I think this is the moment to yourself that you need to be like, we fucking did it. Like, you didn't have to make it, but you fucking did it. Like, you did that, and it feels so goddamn good. Like, there's so much, like, happiness, I want to cry kind of a feeling. Because it's like, oh, you made it this far, and time is a funny thing. And I think this is where we recognize how time can move itself forward in its graceful way, and we can just let it ride. You step through this new beginning for yourself with grace, and the love and passion you still hold for life is waiting for you on the other side. And there's also something new to explore. Something new, kind of a little trinket you may have found in the I want to say the abyss of your mind. It's like you walked into this void and you didn't expect to find something on the ground, and then you're like, oh, is that a coin? Like, I was walking in the darkness, and now there's a coin here? Where did this come from? Oh, okay, hold on. The justice is what we were split on. I was like, oh, okay, that's fancy. And then the death card is here on the bottom of the deck, and I made the reaction I did because the death card is Scorpio's card in the tarot deck. This is the card that represents your zodiac sign in the tarot deck, and it's not about a literal death. It's a metaphorical one. I cannot believe that. Yeah, I can't even. How do you. What? Huh? How do we start with the Emperor from one deck, go to a completely different one? Oh, there's Scorpio on the bottom of the deck. And then we end with the Emperor? If y'all want some homework to go deeper on this reading, research the Emperor card and the meaning of the masculine archetype and how it fits into feminine archetypes, and how your emotions and giving yourself space for your emotions is your feminine energy being expressed, and it's healthy. I don't care how masculine you are, it's healthy. And vice versa. You need a little both. We'll be both. To create this weird concoction of I was gonna just say some weird goo forms. Okay. Clarifying the Ace of Swords is you, Scorpio. I'm not even gonna say which card it is. The Three of Cups and the Sun. You have birthed yourself into a whole new you. Now is the time to be super expressive. And if you can't be expressive to certain people, you gotta be super expressive to yourself. And I think this is tapping into things you genuinely like to do. And if any of it is like a form of exercise, like I'm gonna just like use myself as an example of, because it's the first thing that came to mind. It's how the energies that are helping me translate the cards, or that are like getting the card, whatever. Hold on, words. I worded that poorly. I'm forgetting a word. I'm forgetting, because I don't want to just say spirit guides, because I call it the universe. That's what I pull cards from, and who I ask to give me the message is the universe. Um, and my brain can only translate certain things in certain ways. So if you have something that is of exercise, I'm translating it in the way of like, hey, it doesn't have to be of exercise, but if it is exercising in a way, I dance, and my thing is I go full out, but like a controlled full out. You want to go to 100, you want to go 100% in like a practice, not a performance thing, because uh there's just an expression needing to be had. And if it's an expression of you like running, for a moment, just fucking sprint. Like, if it's just super straight, just fucking sprint. If you're feeling like just super passionate, just see how far you could run and just fucking sprint for a second. Because you can always take a break. There's always a moment of like, oh, I want to go 100% here. And if it's safe enough to do so, do so. Be smart and safe about all this, obviously. But just know that this is the freedom I think you've been looking for. Is that expression, and to feel safe in your own heart and in your own environment as well, safe enough to have this form of expression. And this is also what you're building a new foundation around, your own sense of self and own sense of enlightenment, because the little you, younger versions of you, are calling back to you, and they are in love with everything that you've been doing. You've been rooting for yourself in a way I don't think you've realized. And I think you really need to give yourself some credit here. Like, I want to fucking have like a whole room having a standing ovation just for like, who cares if they don't even fucking know what you've been through. You just deserve like a standing ovation of like energy towards you. You deserve that. There's like an appreciation of the self that feels like a standing ovation. And I want you to express that in yourself and allow yourself to feel that it is safe enough to do so, because you have successfully, I don't want to butcher this, because you have successfully achieved safety for your passions. Especially the key part, because if it's not 100% in your environment, it's 100% in yourself now. And that makes all the difference. And that's the new thing I'm gonna say is being explored. And I want you to explore that one step at a time, one day at a time. And what was this coin you found? What did you find over here? You maybe found an idea from the past? Is that a really cool idea you want to maybe try and get around to doing? Ooh, okay. I have a theory for someone in my family. But anyway, I digress. There's someone I know a few Scorpios out there, so like something just popped in my mind and it's just funny. Could be anything. Could be any idea, but it's kind of like a ding. Something's kind of like pinging you in a very gentle, kind way. And I think you need to either pick up the phone or pick up the trinket that you see on the ground, because it's not just a trinket. I think you may recognize what it is if you look closely. But you gotta pick it up. Pick up the phone, pick up the little pentacle, the little coin here, and see what it is all about, because I can't even say anymore. That is all I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you for being here. Oh. I thought this reading was a lot longer. This was very, like, you're making not my head hurt, but my head is very much, in the ether right now, and this is like a wand right here. And the wand, the Knight of Wands, almost looks like a shadow of like you. This is you floating. It's kind of how your reading makes me feel right now. It's very, very cool and interesting and intriguing, and I love it, and I love you, and thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me read your cards. And if you're watching live on Twitch, we are not ending yet. But if you're watching on YouTube, because we are recording these for YouTube in the future times, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Peace.